ready for the first race of the inaugural West Michigan Grand Prix.
Johnny Marigi is in the best qualifying position of his pro career. He's only that far behind pole position, but he's way back in fourth place. And that's what Spec Racer Ford is all about. Equal cars running very close together. John Strickler in the beautiful number 22 yellow car. He's on the outside pole. But there's one person who knows how to score pole positions better than anyone else in this very tight form of racing, and that's Warren Stillwell. Warren, what does it take to get the last tenth of a second out of this Grand Rapids circuit?
Well, this is an awesome track. It's really tight. It's got a lot of concrete around it. To get that last tenth of a second, I'd say you got to scrape some paint off the side of the car.
They'll be scraping through the streets in Grand Rapids right here on Speed Vision.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the Scott Brayton Memorial Street Circuit. This is a very challenging track that runs through the downtown area of this beautiful city of Grand Rapids, Michigan. This is the inaugural West Michigan Grand Prix. It's round 3 of the Spec Racer Ford Pro Series, and these cars may be one of the most suitable to a track that's this tight and challenging. Dorsey, should be a good weekend of racing. Dorsey Schrader alongside.
Yeah, this is a brand new racetrack nobody's ever been to before, and a very bumpy racetrack, and everybody's going to have a good time tonight.
You've already met John Bizignano, who is down in the pits. He's going to be covering all the action down there. This is a very crucial event as well. Let's take a look at the points as we come into this opening round. And Warren Stillwell comes in, he's top in points, but it's interesting. He had a 5th at Topeka, and he ends up winning at Mid-Ohio. I think his 20th straight win at Mid-Ohio. The guy's remarkable there. Ends up in the points lead, but it's pretty tight. He's only got about 5 points in hand over Keith Scharf, who's been in the top 5 both races. John Strickler was 6th in the opening race, was 3rd in the most recent race, puts him in the points in 3rd, then Tilber, then Spirito, John Santos Spirito. Now here's that track, Dorsey. Not only is it tight and busy, there's some serious shadows out there. It's late in the day.
1.58 miles, 13 turns. That's very, very busy. It's very rough. Turn 1, good passing zone. Really, really a lot of bumping down there. Bumping, as I'm talking about, the racetrack is being very bumpy. Turn 2 and 3 is so tight. It's one turn. It's like the S's. You go up to 4, it's a little drag race. And drag race out of 4 to 5. Now 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I call it the funnel tunnel. There's no room to pass. It's like funneling into a tunnel. Here we look at the cars as they're lining up for a start here.
Starting to go into side-by-side formation. The starting grid coming at you. Warren Stillwell on pole with John Strickler alongside row 2. Keith Scharf and Johnny Marigi. Then it's Robert Mumm, who won the opener. He's in the 5th qualifying spot with Capaldi, Spirito, Tilber, Bowden, and Hunt rounding out the top 10. 15 takes us back to Peter Pope. And then you see the last group, and Dave Kramer ends up qualifying 21st. A little problem qualifying. Iwana makes good on it. Of course, you can see how dark that section of track is where those towering skyscrapers really block the sun.
This is the worst of conditions. These guys are going in and out of light, and the light right now is straight in your eyes, straight in your face. So it's really blinding, and then you go between these big skyscraper buildings here, and you get blinded, and it's going to be a challenge for these guys. Now remember, the first thing on the start of this race, you really want to be aggressive. These cars are all identical. You need to be very aggressive and get what you can get early, because once it gets down to that funnel tunnel, it's going to be one man at a time.
Field looking fairly good. Watch for the green flag there in the upper left-hand corner. The field has to get back in line. They've done a nice job of that. Stillwell bringing them up, and we are green. And Stillwell looks like he timed it nicely, but Strickler right there and tucked in behind Stillwell comes Scharf, very experienced, and Dorsey absolute side-by-side. A huge attempt around the outside into 1.
There was that big bump in the brake zone. It's really easy to lock the tire up right there, and if you do, it's easy to get turned sideways. Not enough room for one of these cars to be sideways. It'll cause a big traffic jam, and they're headed to the tightest part of the track right now.
Through the S's right now. That was Capaldi trying that big outside move, and Strickler, he just hung it out on the outside of 1 and 2 and took over the lead at the exit of the S's. Strickler, your leader. It's not often somebody gets the jump on Warren Stillwell, and he did a beautiful job. Not
a lot of room to pass here, and that was one place he forced the issue. I said like that at the beginning. You have to be really aggressive. Get what you can get. We look at Keith Scharf now in 3rd place behind that group. You got to get what you can get in the first lap, because once it all gets strung out here, it's not going to be as easy as that.
That 77 Marigi in sort of the aqua car in 4th, then 68 Capaldi. Then in number 10 behind him is Mum. But we're already seeing the lead 3 have opened up just a little bit of a margin, although Marigi comes charging back in a hurry. Strickler, the yellow machine, then Stillwell in the maroon entry, then Scharf, the Valvoline car. Boy, wagged the tail pretty good. And that's what we're calling here, really. This is the East Loop as it starts to send him down toward that crucial final corner.
And that final corner is the most important one, leading to the longest straightaway on the entire circuit, which is the pit straightaway, and a good opportunity to make a pass down in turn 1. However, Strickland, pretty good lead right there.
Now these cars, they're 1.9 liter engines in every one. They're spec class cars, and by design they're a little underpowered, which means getting through a corner and keeping your speed alive is everything.
Well, these are momentum cars. You got to keep your momentum up. You can't get blocked in. You want to drive smoothly. You want to not slide the car. You want to drive it straight off the corner as hard as you can. Of course, that's easier said than done because these guys are pushing the limit of their tires. I mean, they're really skating these cars around here.
Well, these tires too are I mean, DOT approved street tires with tread. They shave them a little bit, but you can burn these tires off the car too. You have to be a little careful and make sure you've got stuff left at the end of it.
Look at John Strickler right there. Our lead car comes out, runs right out to the outside wall. That's what I'm talking about. Nice, smooth exit. Used all of the road right there, so he didn't scrub off any speed at all.
Strickler hanging on, actually building that margin a little bit over Stillwell. Good luck, or look at John Strickler out of Kansas City, Kansas. But just that quick, boy, that section of track, Stillwell's getting through incredibly quickly.
Yeah, but, you know, even though he's faster right there, there's no room to make that pass happen. I mean, he had enough speed right there to put his nose underneath John, but John didn't have any really potential threat because there was nowhere to go if he did get him.
Up into that East Loop, and Scharf and Marigi right there as well. We have really a conga line battle here. That's the top 4, and they've gapped it out just a little bit. Top 5 actually have opened it up just a little bit. Look at the margin as we go back. Mum, number 10, Mum, has gone missing. That was John Santos Spirito now, who's moved into the 6th spot. So Mum has slipped back, had a problem. There he is. He's actually slid back behind Neil Tilburg. So he had a problem somewhere on the track. And Strickler, he is under attack right now.
Warren Stillwell looking left, right. He's doing part of that to make Stillwell look back. I mean, to look Strickland look back. But also, he's under pressure from Keith Sharp. So he's doing it for 2 reasons. He's doing it to bother Strickland up front, and also to block the way of Keith Sharp, who's trying to find a way by. Oh, and here we go, side by side. But look, nowhere for him to go with that speed. No way to make a pass in there.
Boy, and they are throwing the cars around a little bit through the S's here. Oh, Stillwell a little wide, and here comes Sharp. He got a run on him, and Sharp has got himself in position. Dorsey, question is, can he? Yeah, looks like he's got him.
And he's not going to be the only one. Look to the inside. Oh, right there. Oh, that was close to contact. Didn't happen. That was pretty gentlemanly right there by Marigi, who let that happen.
Well, Marigi being very gentlemanly, and oh, he got tagged by Capaldi. You can see that building. He gave the room to Scharf in that battle, and he let Capaldi have a little opening there. Capaldi tried to go right through it.
Well, you see what happens when you try to be a good guy around here. You know, he let him go back in, and he paid the price for it.
So Marigi has slipped back. That's going to advance Spirito, number 19, and is going to advance Tilburg as well. Racing action continuing here early on in this one. The 3rd round of the Spec Racer Ford Pro Series.
1, 2, 3.
Here's a musical journey back to your favorite 60s hangout, having good times with good friends and great music.
You know she's sugar and spice and all things.
Now, Cornerstone Promotions brings you Sugar and Spice, a great new collection featuring 34 fun-filled hits.
My baby does the hanky-panky. My baby does the hanky-panky. Dizzy. I'm so dizzy, my head is spinning. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Why do you build me a buttercup, baby, just to let me down? Under the boardwalk, down by the sea.
Sugar and Spice captures those unforgettable memories with 34 of the most lovable hits of all time.
Don't take your love away from me. Don't you leave my heart in misery. 'Cause everybody's somebody's fool. Cherry baby, baby, shake me any way you want. My boyfriend's back and you're gonna be in trouble.
Spice is not sold in stores, so order now.
Well, now you shake it to the left, you shake it to the right, you do the hippie shake with all the might, oh baby.
Call toll-free now for Sugar and Spice. 2 cassettes, $19.98, 2 CDs, $26.98, plus $4.95 shipping. Call now.
We are back, and as you can see, problems, and somebody got hammered pretty good. Oh, there's a lot of damage to the back of that car, Dorsey. There is fluid down on the track. Car smoking badly. He's going to get it going again. And it looks like that fluid, the upside is it's well off the racing line. For the
well, it won't be for long, though, because he's underway and he's leaving either antifreeze. That's what I think that is. I think he's lost a radiator hose back there. But he's stuffed the front end and he's been hitting the back end as well. And if there is fluid coming out, it's going to make it very slippery as we go back up front. John Strickler leading, but wide now. Look right behind him. Keith Sharp pops out, takes a look to the inside. Down into the brake zone they go. I think he's got this pass made for the lead. Keith Sharp, the new leader.
Boy, Sharp exiting what is turn 4 onto the Pearl Street Bridge has been absolute magic through that section of track. He goes to the lead, and look at the close quarters action. Stillwell all over the back of Strickler, just being forced a little wide, it looked like, by Sharp's pass. Really hurt Strickler's momentum. That's how crucial it is.
These three guys race against each other a lot. Keith Sharp in Kirkland, Missouri, that was my hometown right there, so he's my hometown favorite, obviously. But I'll tell you what, John Strickler bought one of my old race cars, an old former Atlanta car there, so I've known John for a long time. And what can you say about Warren? Still winning Stillwell. That guy is dominant.
He is incredible. 0-1. Thomas Hunt was the car that had the incident, and he's standing by, or John Bizignano was standing by in the pits.
Thomas Hunt, you got damage in the front of the car, you got damage in the rear of the car, a lot of steam. What went wrong out there?
Coming into turn 12, got pushed a little from behind, went through the wall, nowhere to go.
We understand that the track is very slippery, a lot of grease down on the track, a lot of oil. How big of a problem was that for you?
Yeah, really slippery out there. It's a fun circuit, but it's a handful.
It's a handful. He's going to have a lot of work with the hands fixing this car. He's got damage all the way around. He hit 3 out of 4 corner, guys.
Tough break for Tom Hunt, and as we were talking, we're watching number 77 Marighi, and he is absolutely on the prowl again. He's gone back around. He's gone around Mum. He's gone around Tilber. That's the number 8 blue and sort of sublime machine right there. And Marighi's setting his sights now on Spirito, and Spirito right now holds the 5th spot. So this is a great comeback drive by Marighi after that early spin.
Well, lucky for Marighi, it wasn't his fault. He got hit and put around backwards, but at least he didn't get into the wall, which is hard not to do here. He does have no damage on his car that's going to keep him from running. As we've seen, he just went by the Tyco car that is Neil Tilbor. Neil Tilbor raced these cars back when I did, so he has indeed a lot of experience behind the wheel of Spec Racer.
Neil right in the thick of that battle right now. He's got Mum behind him, Marighi in front of him, and in front of them is young John Santos Spirito. Tough break at the Mid-Ohio round, the 2nd round of the championship course. He was leading the race. He had out-dueled Warren Stillwell in a paint-swapping battle for the lead, and then just overtook it in the keyhole there in Mid-Ohio and looped it and ended up dropping well back. He'd sure like to get back in the thick of this one.
Yeah, he would for sure, but he's got a long way to go to get up to where these guys are. We look Keith Sharp right now, John Strickler. Look at the head movement of all these drivers as they're checking their mirrors. They're looking first to the front. Can I make a move or should I make a move? And then looking to the rear. Do I need to block? That's Spec Racer all the way through. You got to defend from all 4 angles. You can't quit looking because you're under attack constantly in these guys.
Once again, working through the S's, turns 2 and 3. And here's that launch now that takes them up toward the Pearl Street Bridge. And this corner has been absolute magic for Sharp. If you take a look at the top 5, it's Sharp, Strickler, Stillwell, Capaldi, and Santos Spirito. And again, Sharp opens up a little bit of a margin there. He has got that turn figured out.
Well, interestingly enough, these top 4 here, this is a Friday race, and that allows these guys to pack up if they have a car left at the end of this thing and go on to a national race somewhere else in the country. A lot of guys are doing that, so they want to save their car, but they want to win this pro race. So there's a conflict.
Well, one thing, Mum, he said he's not worrying about nationals right now. He's concentrating on the Pro Series. So if he can get up to these guys, we might see him more willing to swap a little paint than anybody else in this one right now. But that lead group of 4 doors have essentially checked out. They've got a margin over the rest of the pack right now. That's a second or 2, and in this form of racing, that's forever.
Well, one reason that they're doing that is although they're racing furiously with each other, they're not doing a lot of silly ducking to the inside and making the other guy slow down. They're keeping their momentum up, which is what you have to do here. You don't see Stillwell popping out looking to the inside, because if he does that, Strickler's got to defend. If Strickler defends, it slows that whole group up, and the other group catches up. So they're really very, very experienced drivers doing what they're doing right now. Oh, and here he comes. As soon as I say that, Here comes an attempt for the pass, but that's not going to happen. We're optimistic.
Yeah, his car gets a little loose going over that big drop-off on the approach. He's got to tuck back in behind Strickler. The top four right now, about 4 seconds clear of fifth in Grand Rapids.
For everyone trying to beat the clock, Sprint introduces a world where time is finally on your side.
Time is on my side. Yes, it is.
Introducing Sprint Sense Anytime. Just sign up for Sprint Long Distance now, and you'll pay just 10 cents a minute, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So now you can feel free to call anywhere you want, anytime you want, for as long as you want.
Time is on my side.
With Sprint, you can call anytime you have time. Call anyone you want, anywhere you want, anytime you want, for just a dime a minute. But you've got to call Sprint first. Then you can stop watching the clock and start enjoying your conversations. Put time on your side. With Sprint, it's just a dime, anytime. Don't wait.
Time is on my side.
Call now, 1-800-410-6060.
Performing a launch status check. You have a range clear to launch. Mark. Yellow to go for auto sequence event. Roger, go with battle. Copy, distance, negative 310.
And we now have 10 laps in the books here at the West Michigan Grand Prix in Grand Rapids, Michigan. There's your leader, Keith Sharp. And Dorsey, you can see number 28 Stillwell has closed that margin up just a little bit. It's almost 2 seconds when we went to break, and it is now coming down. Now the leader, as we understand it, John Bisignano, is a bit of a one-man band.
It's a very big one-man band at the moment. I was trying to get some information for you from his crew all up and down the pit lane. There is no crew. He is absolutely a one-man show. He prepares his car, he drives the car, he tows the car to and from the track. Like SCCA club racing thrives on, but he's doing it in a very professional way. I wanted to find out what he was saying on the radio, but right now, guys, he's talking to himself, and he's saying, keep everyone behind me. I want to be in the lead. I want to take this thing home.
Smooth, smooth, smooth. And at this point, Dorsey, when you've got nobody to give you information from the pits, what goes through your head? What are you thinking?
Well, one of the nicest thing about this class is, in fact, they don't need a real big crew or any crew at all, as you're seeing with Keith Sharp, our leader right now. They are as close to a maintenance-free race car as you could ever want. You don't need a lot of information because seldom are you so far ahead or behind somebody that you can't visually see them. So, oh, look at this, look at this. There's a lot of bumpy diciness going on right back there.
Strickler got held up big time in traffic. The guy tried to do everything he could, but he couldn't really hit the disappear button. That's the number 71 machine, and he gave him a point by, but Strickler got held up a little bit. Stillwell got through, and Capaldi tried to jump all over him, and that was very close indeed. But Stillwell gets a gift in traffic.
Yeah, I think Capaldi and Stillwell actually, or not Stillwell, but Capaldi right there, and Strickland actually did a little body rubbing, a little paint swapping like early in that corner. Like I was saying before, though, you can drive these races without a crew as far as the radio goes, because you really, it's a sprint race. You know right where everybody is around you, and all you got to do is exactly what Keith Sharp is doing, which is talk yourself through a lap. You know, just keep it smooth, get off this corner good, run the straightaway. You know, just use your head. It's very much a thinking situation when all these cars are the same.
Well, we talked about the changing complexion. It has changed big time. There's your battle for third, and you can see that Strickler is well behind that battle for the lead, and that's what it's become at the front. Because he doesn't have to worry about what's going on behind him, Stillwell has the his head down big time and has really run down Sharp in a very short period of time. Oh, and he locks the tire up there as he got real light over that drop-off. He did a nice job of saving that.
That was the bump I was talking about. They got in there really, really deep because right now Keith knows that he's back there, so he drove it in as deep as he could, and that bump locked up the rear tires, and Stillwell did a good job, like you said, but look behind them right there. Great battle for actually third place, but there's 2 one-car battles going on right now.
And once again, through turn 4 and onto the Pearl Street Bridge, that is where Sharp has absolutely got that car dialed, because he gained 2 car lengths just through that corner alone. And that's going to pay him big dividends as they get down into the twisty sections here coming up. This is going to be turn 6. That's right where 22 Strickler's heading into it, into the very tight, busy section of this track. And that battle for third's still pretty good, too.
Well, Capaldi wants to work with Strickler right now instead of work on Strickler right now, you know, because they're falling back now. They're losing their chance at maybe winning this thing. So they need to stay tucked. Oh, and he gets into the outside wall. Capaldi comes off the corner and tags the outside wall.
We'll have to watch and see if there's any significant damage. These cars mighty sturdy.
Oh, yeah, they're sturdy.
So it should be okay. Now, you were talking about, and John, too, about national racing and club racing. One of the nice things about this category of car, you can buy one, start off in driver school, go regional racing at the SCCA club level. If you're comfortable and you're quick there, you can go to the national level. And then there's this Pro Series that can take you right into the pro ranks. There's something like 900 of these cars racing around the United States in SCCA club events throughout the year. So very popular class. Doris, what happened? This is Capaldi. Gets just a little wide.
Watch right here. 17 car around the wall. Got loose. He's got opposite lock on right now. He's sliding. Bang! Pops it into the wall on the outside. Lucky there. All he did was he got in by the apex and he got that jump, jumped up in the air, got loose, and it just slid right across the racetrack line. But you said it best. It is a very strong sided car. I've hit this thing on the side so hard you wouldn't believe it. They always bounce back. It's a really good little car.
All right, so that allows Strickler to take a bit of a breather as he's a comfortable third. You look at this battle now. This is Spirito, number 19, and he is currently in fifth. He's got Neil Tilber all over him. Tilber dives to the inside, Doris. Classic move, locks up. Oh, and let's see, Spirito going to try and take the position back. Let's watch for it. Here we go. Wait for him to pop into view, but that was some great passing and counter passing, and Tilber got him.
Tilber got in there way hot on the brake zone, got the pass made, but then locked up a front tire, slid wide, and it was almost a double pass. He's very lucky that it wasn't a double pass.
And that allowed Mum to close in. And coming on strong from ninth is John Bowden out of Lawrence, Kansas. He's joined that pack as well. Meanwhile, back at the front through the final corner. Boy, when you carry a lot of speed through there, you've got to be very careful about pit in.
Well, I think they're doing that on purpose. They're just using all the track that they have to use right there to be smooth. And you're talking about John Bowden. John Bowden was the guy that got me involved with this thing way, way back when. So he was one of the very, very first owners of a spec racer because I was there. His chassis number was 2 before mine. So Bowden, a great guy, fun guy to be with, and he's doing a good race today too.
So the question is, Doris, do you know everybody in racing?
I know most everybody in racing. Oh, and look at here. That was...
Spirito got way wide.
Yeah, he did. And there's something wrong there. He's just lost 3 positions. I think he got in too deep in the brake zone there. Got in the marbles. We always talk about the marbles and couldn't turn the car down. And it was way out there on the outside. Now he's trying to work his way back through. Frustrated.
I wonder if he didn't try some move to get around Tilber and just got in too hot. And as a result, he let Mum and 23 Bowden by him.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did do. He got in way too hot trying to make a pass, got in the marbles, couldn't turn the car down, and now look at this. They get a little bumpy in there.
He almost got a little self-correcting from Bowden behind him. But, boy, I tell you, Spirito came back and repassed Bowden in quick time. So, but he's got a problem now. So he's lost a bit of ground to Mum right now. Let's go back and take a look at what happened. Yeah, here we go, Doris.
Well, look right there on the inside. Tilber on the inside defending that position, looking for an outside passer. Now, nobody's been out there all that much. Gets in very deep in the brake zone. Oh, Tilber locks the rear for a minute. He gets it shut down, but no way in the world with all that speed can you turn into the corner. And look at all the guys going up the inside all of a sudden.
The proverbial streaming by. He did a nice job of throwing the car a little sideways to make it through turn 1 and not end up down in the runoff. But here we go. That's lap cars. Strickler going around one of the lap cars. That's the number 0 entry of Mike Buck. You can see a little damage on that car. And there's that battle for the lead. And you almost wonder when you've got Warren Stillwell and he's that close and he's been there for that long, you start to hear that Jaws music. Yeah.
Well, you know, you're thinking about it to yourself right now. You're thinking, is he setting me up? Is he pass me? Is he just sitting back here? Is he going to wait till the last lap? Is he going to try me in the second to last lap? I got to have a plan. You know, what's his plan? So it's a big chess game right now, a big mental chess game. These 2 drivers equally match these 2 cars, obviously.
And Scharf didn't get the advantage through turn 4 under the Pearl Steep Bridge this time. Stillwell may have figured things out. We'll be back with 15 laps of 32 done here at Grand Rapids.
New Arm & Hammer Super Scoop wants to challenge your cat litter.
Litter box odors are the worst.
We've got the world's most proven deodorizer.
Must be the Arm & Hammer baking soda.
It eliminates odors. Arm & Hammer products are great.
We also have today's most advanced clumping system. Let's look at your litter.
It's breaking apart. It leaves odors.
Now try Super Scoop.
Arm & Hammer clumps better.
That is better. The odor clumps lift right out. Just 1 scoop. That's it.
New Arm & Hammer Super Scoop, the super way to scoop odor away.
Want 50% more shine stuff? Get new Ultra Shine Protectant from Armor All. It's the ultimate shine.
Hey, This is Billy F. Gibbons from ZZ Top, and you're watching Speed Vision right here, right now.
Not much of a better way to kick off the first inaugural West Michigan Grand Prix. The racing does not get any closer. That margin at start-finish officially was 0.3 of a second. I think it was a lot closer than that. Oh, and we've got two cars have come together. 84 is Peter Pope. And, well, let's see. It was an attempted pass by Stillwell, but Sharp at the inside at the eggs of the S's.
Yeah, that happened actually 2 turns ago. Stillwell had a good run going. He feinted him in turn 1. He feinted the inside, then went outside, went for a big radius, ran to the inside, but of course Sharp is a very, very crafty veteran. He knew it was going to get tight up ahead. He just ran him side by side as clean as can be, and just, as I call it, scraped him off on the wall.
Very good, very apropos. I wonder if at this point, if Sharp has maybe used up the tires a little bit and Stillwell just sitting back following his lines might not be a little bit fresher.
Well, I think that the chassis are a little different. We've seen already that Stillwell's very much faster through these real twisty parts, and it looks like Sharp is better on the high-speed corners. And both these drivers are using where their strong point is to their advantage. Stillwell's got to make that pass if he's going to. We're having a replay right now. Look at what happens here is 84 into 51. 51's going to be able to look up the inside, and he's going to get in too deep, as we've seen happen very many times. Got a lot of speed going right there. They can both get to the apex. Now, the 51 car could make that corner. 84 to the outside, you know, he's got nowhere to go. Just runs him straight into the tire barrier. And that was a mistake, you know, by Rod Beckman in the 51. He just got way too much speed, didn't get slowed down.
He had full lock on the front of that car, and it was going nowhere. That's about the best example of push that you're ever going to see. And there's a nice, well, Stillwell got by fairly comfortably, but he did lose a couple of 3 car lengths right there. And look at Strickler. He has made up a ton of ground. He's within about a second now of that battle for the lead. So Strickler is maybe taking advantage of some traffic that those 2 leaders have run through, and he's gaining ground big time.
That's what I was about to say. That's what this lap traffic will do. It'll tend to bunch things up, or sometimes you'll get lucky and it'll tend to give you a great big lead that you didn't have before. But in this particular case, it had to have held up. Both Sharp and Strickland has made up that gap right now.
Here's a good look at John Strickland, who has had a very eventful race. He's been up there, he's been back there, and now he's coming back up there again. Look at Stillwell. He likes to turn in early for that turn 6 into that funnel tunnel area, and he seems to carry great speed through there.
Well, because he turns early, he carries a lot more speed into it, but like I said before, there's nowhere to go. Speaking of nowhere to go, there was almost nowhere to go on that spin right there, too, by the 0 car. Gets it around. Tom Hunt did not get collected, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, 0, Mike Buck is having some serious problems here, and he may have been caught out as Tilburg may have just tried to dive bomb down the inside. Trying to get by a lap car when you're in a big race, you do everything you can, and nope, he just got it. He tried to stay out and let Tilburg go, and there's no grip out there right now.
Yeah, you can see that's the second time in a row somebody's been out wide of the apex there, and the car just turned around on him. So obviously there's no rubber down there, probably some marbles out there, and by trying to be the nice guy, once again, we see what happens. You move offline. You really don't need to move offline that much, and he got in the marbles and ran it went.
Working into turn 1, that battle for the lead now has become a 3-car battle as the action continues. 18 laps of 32 complete here at the Scott Braden Memorial Street Circuit.
For this historic 50th anniversary, NASCAR has authorized the Collector's Mint to create a limited edition commemorative coin. And now you can reserve one of these historic NASCAR coins for only $59.95. Millions of fans will experience the thrill of NASCAR racing, but just 7,500 coins will be minted before the mold is destroyed. Each is individually numbered with a certificate of authenticity. The coin features the official logo of NASCAR's 50th anniversary and of racing legend Richard Petty. Minted with 1 troy ounce of fine silver, overlaid in pure 24-karat gold by Collector's Mint, the trusted name in sports collectibles. All advanced reservations will receive this collector's display case absolutely free. Sorry, due to the limited quantity of coins, only advanced reservations will be honored. There's only one 50th anniversary and only one NASCAR commemorative coin. So have your credit card ready and reserve your historic anniversary coin now.
To order your commemorative coin, call 1-800-701-6336.
Johnny Marigi, you still have your helmet on, but please tell us what took you out of this race. I know you had contact with another car out there earlier on, and from then on, things just weren't going your way.
Well, I was running a very solid 4th place, and Capaldi tapped me in the rear and spun me out. I did a 360. I'm sure he didn't do it intentionally, but that pretty much put me out of the race.
What's the matter with the car? Why are you in the pits now?
I think I lost 3rd gear.
And third gear here at a 64-mile-an-hour average track. You're in that gear all the time, aren't you, Dorsey?
Yeah, you are for sure. Third gear would be the gear that you're in second and third more than anything else. And if you've lost third, there isn't much use staying out there. And you see right now car 9 being passed by all these guys, and there was a good hand signal given right there too, which is a real nice deal to do. That was Richard Doty, knowing that the lead cars were coming up on him. He just said, okay guys, I see you going by, and that leads you to go into the corner wide open without any reservation. That's really comforting if you're the lead car, because you don't want to get caught out.
You can see, I mean, that helps, but it's still, there's a matter of luck involved, because you got another, that's 0 again. Mike Buck, well, he is having a miserable day out there right now. You got to think there's some damage on that car. I wonder if there's not some damage to the suspension. That car just does not seem to be handling all that well.
Well, sometimes what happens, some of these guys, of course, this is a beginner's type of class. Some of these guys don't have much experience. It's so easy to lose your mental focus after you've had a spin, and you get frustrated, and you really want to make up the ground you lost, which is, of course, impossible to do, but you try to do it anyway, and it results in just another spin and just another spin. And it's something that rookie drivers tend to do quite a lot.
And that battle for the lead has opened up just a little bit, and it was a matter of Scharf, even though both Stillwell and Strickler got the point by from the other lap car that they worked through. Scharf caught him right on the straight, got around him, moved back over, got a great drive through turn 1, and both Stillwell and Strickler looked like they had to pinch down a little bit, and that gets back to that momentum being so crucial. If you tighten the angle up in a corner, it can hurt you here.
I'll tell you what, look now, you're going into a complete dark area. Our cameras really pick up a lot more light than what these guys are seeing. They're going into a complete dark area, like right around that corner. And when you pop back out, you've got the sun right in your eye there. And when you're running in these close proximities, it's really tough right there. And I know it sounds like I'm saying Strickland sometimes instead of Strickler, but I kind of had a lisp on that R.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay. All right. So
it's John Strickler, though. I know it is, because that's him right there.
That's right. So there's had a quick look at your top 5, and Capaldi and Tilber round out that top 5. But Scharf now, just that quick, Stillwell has reeled him back in, and we are seeing great evidence, Dorsey, that whatever the setup is on Stillwell's car, and of course it's partially Stillwell, but the tighter the section of the track, the more effective he seems to be.
Well, and that could be just setup. It really could. It could be that his car is a bit more neutral on those medium speed corners, the low speed corners, and that it might be a little looser per se than Scharf's is on the fast stuff, and that's why the difference in these two cars. For whatever reason, though, Keith Scharf's car is fast where you want to be fast, where you want to be able to make passes, and unfortunately Stillwell's really fast where that speed doesn't help you a bit.
Well, Scharf obviously is getting out of corners, and so crucial, for instance, onto this long straight. He's got that working pretty well there. And Stillwell just trying to stay close and get a run at him. But look at that pack of traffic they're coming up on. That could really be huge in this one.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Look in front of them, and we've got to, and of course, those guys are all battling for position too, so they're not just going to pull over. I mean, these guys are side-by-side racing for position, so the lead cars, they know it's coming. We see the driver get his hand up in the air. That's nice. He'll stay offline. All will go by him safely. That's a nice thing. But we've had a spin now by the 11 car, and
that's Martin Welke's out of Grand Rapids, a local driver here, and had a little bit of a problem, but kept it off the walls and has continued again.
One of the worst things in these little confines of the street circuit is if you spin 180 and you turn the wrong way, there's no way to get turned back around unless you do it right in this big area here. Nobody spins in the straightaway that much. So if you do that in that funnel tunnel area, it's really, really hard not to get collected by somebody.
Well, spin and all, I've got to think that Martin Welke's is thrilled to be taking part in a professional race through the streets of his hometown. And he's probably having the time of his life out there nonetheless. Here's that traffic now that we were talking about. And whoa, Scharf. So how he didn't get into the back of that number 84 machine, I don't know. That was very close. Peter Pope and Scharf almost had it coming together.
Yeah, Peter Pope at the last minute, though, did see and move out of the line, and all three of them come by right now. But that's a tense moment for sure, because Scharf doesn't want to back off or anything. He doesn't want to lose momentum. As I said, this is a momentum type of car. So he doesn't want to back off. He wants to hold it completely flat and hope like heck that Pope knows he's coming there and gets out of his way. And if he doesn't get out of his way, you well, we know what happens.
Coming up on a gentleman named Ahmed Shayeshta, and he moves way over and points him through, but Stillwell thinking about it. Oh! He got into the back of Scharf. Scharf goes spinning. Stillwell's got damage, and Strickler's going to sneak through and lead. And look at Scharf. He can't believe it.
And he can't get running. That's why he's waving furiously. I was going to say, pop it in second gear, pop the clutch, and keep going. But obviously, he's got damage to where to where the car will not run. So the full course yellow's out. Stillwell misjudged that, hits the back of Sharp. He's got damage right there. You see Stillwell's car, big hole in the radiator up there. That's going to play right into Strickler's hands because that's a big aero disadvantage now. If it didn't take the radiator out, it's made a big gaping hole in the front, and we're under full course yellow.
Well, and at Mid-Ohio, Stillwell had contact, and it closed that opening up just like it has there, only more so. And that becomes a an overheating issue. Let's go back and take a look. Well, that just sort of came out of nowhere.
Down the straightaway, looking to the inside. Now Keith Sharp starts moving over to protect the position. Here's the bump, hits him well before that bump that we were talking about loosens the car. He just plain drove into the back of him right there. Sharp was defending that inside position. Of course, Warren had already taken that move to the inside, saying, I'm going up the inside, and they just come together. Quite hard hit, too, I should say.
And how Warren managed to hold on to the lead is very impressive to me. He's still there, but obviously things changing big time. Full course yellow after 22 of 32 laps, 10 to go when we come back to Grand Rapids. Don't go anywhere.
When you can't escape the scorching heat and the forecast says there's no relief in sight, here's the solution that'll keep you cool and comfortable wherever you are. An exclusive patented design from the Sharper Image, the personal cooling system. It keeps your body feeling so nice and cool you might think you're wearing a miniature air conditioner. But here's how it works. Simply add a few ounces of water. Switch on the Whisper Quiet fan. And the accelerated evaporative cooling process creates a cool zone that's up to 20 degrees cooler than the hot, dry air around you.
It's very hot out here today, and it doesn't, right now I feel really cool and relieved.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, that makes me feel nice and cool. Yeah.
The coated high-tech cooling plates are cold to the touch and conduct heat away from the body while adjusting to fit your neck comfortably.
Yeah, it's really light and comfortable. I barely noticed it at all.
It's really cool, like right around my shoulders it's starting and right in your back area.
Immediately when I put it on, I could feel my body cool down.
This is great. It keeps me cool while I'm fishing all day long.
If you love the outdoors but can't stand the heat, whether you're a player or a fan, the personal cooling system is designed to cool your body for hours without getting you wet.
As soon as I put it on, I felt cooled off right away. I've been jogging probably for about an hour and a half now, and I just put this on, and this makes a world of difference. I think I can jog for another hour with this.
This thing's fantastic.
Well, really, anytime I'm outside, camping or hiking,
make me feel really good.
Now you can beat the heat no matter where you are, golfing, fishing, gardening, or even mowing the lawn. Call the toll-free number on your screen now to order your Sharper Image personal cooling system for just 2 easy payments of $24.50. Call the toll-free number now for your miniature, wearable personal cooling system.
From the Sharper Image, of course.
Welcome back to Grand Rapids, and it's a beautiful city, but Keith Sharp would like it to be a little bit more pleasant right now, as that's Keith there. He's behind the barrier. He's out of the car behind the wall. Cleanup going on down in the turn 1 area, and there is the wounded racer in Dorsey. What happened?
Well, in the brake zone right here, here's Keith trying to move over, defend. I think he gets on the brake. Warren not ready for it. Clouts him quite hard. Keith spins to the inside. For some reason, his car, I thought right here, if he bounces off here, if he could just catch second gear, he could head for the pits right there, but it's broken the car. And maybe John Bisognano can tell us more about it.
Well, we have been talking to the crew down here. Now, they don't have any radio communication with Warren. His father, Sumner, has just been out to the pit wall. They say that there's no leakage whatsoever coming from that radiator area. But now we understand down here that he's been given the black flag. The SCCA has given him the black flag, so he may be visiting the pits very soon. And of course, the entire crew is a little bit upset. They're talking with the SCCA right now to see exactly why he was given that black flag. I think, Dorsey, you would have to say that was very close racing, nothing intentional. These two guys had been going wheel to wheel with no problems for many laps, and now he may be coming into the pits because of a black flag.
Well, I agree with that. You know, these guys are not only fierce competitors, but they are friends, and they race against each other all the time. Seldom do you ever see them make contact. There was a mistake made, no question about it. Not intentional, I'm positive about that, but it did happen, and I'm sure that the penalty is going to be a stop and go, and it's kind of a shame, but you know, That's going to be John Strickler now being the recipient of good fortune. But I think really it would have been a moot point, because with that big hole in the front, he would have fell victim to being a slow car up the straightaway, and Strickler would have surely at some point drafted by into the lead. But it's worse than that now, because of course Stillwell's going to get a stop and go and probably fall back obviously to middle or worst pack. Probably could go as far as to the back of the pack actually, and there's not enough time with less than 10 laps to go to get back to the front.
Well, I wonder if the SCCA's argument might not be that it wasn't as if Sharp was weaving and blocking and everything and got into him. He just moved over and was defending and got clipped. Unintentional, no question, but nonetheless, as you said, a mistake was made, and Stillwell apparently is going to have to pay for it just a little bit, worse than just the damage to the car. But obviously, they're not going to issue the stop and go under yellow, so they'll wait till we go back to green. As you can see, we got one more lap. This lap, I believe, completing, then we should go green. Then I would think we would see him make his move into the pit lane.
Well, I'm sure the call is going to be over aggressive driving. You know, I don't know if I concur with that call or not, because that's the nature of this class in itself, that you have to run so close and the cars are so identical. A slight miscue on anybody's part, that can happen. And like I say, these guys are friends, and it's not something that you see repetitively. So
well, we're going to take another look, and we hear the phrase racing incident used a lot. Is this what that is?
Well, it is. I mean, Warren's taking a look to the inside. Keith now sees him, tries to block it, moves over. Look how close Warren was to that concrete wall there. I mean, he was all the way up against the wall with nowhere to go, and I think he just got caught off. He was blind. You're so tight up underneath the guy, you can't see around his car anymore. And I think what happened probably is Keith got on the brakes earlier than Warren thought he was in the racetrack. Of course, bounces off the wall right there. I thought if he could caught a gear right there, he could get going, but obviously that back into the wall right there has disabled the car from being able to run.
The right rear tire was folded up. I just caught that there, so that's why that car was parked. Let's check in again with Biz. John?
Well, Dorsey and Greg, I talked to the SCCA officials down here, and it is because of aggressive driving that Warren will be making that stop and go. And like you, Dorsey, I'll tell you, these guys have been going wheel to wheel. This is their third race. These things happen in this type of racing. I can't really agree with the decision from the SCCA. Yes, there was contact made, but it wasn't because of an over-aggressive approach. It was just really, really close racing. They ran out of room.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. Particularly looking at the replay, you have to understand they're going up into what is a very bumpy braking zone with the sun straight in your eyes, you know, and you're looking at Warren is tucked right up underneath within, say, an inch of Keith Sharp. So he clearly can't see where he's going. He can't probably see the reference where the brake marker used to be, or he would have been able to see that brake marker normally. Now he can't, and I think all that happened was that Keith got onto the brake and it caught Warren off, and they just got together.
Oh, Warren, I'm sorry, timed that beautifully. He wanted to jump to get as much of a lead as he could before he had to be called into that stop and go. John, do you have more on this?
Well, what you were saying, Dorsey, where it happened at the end of the straight, these fellas are actually coming down the straightaway, covering their eyes because of the low sun. You said he couldn't see exactly where the other car was. I think you're absolutely right. The sun, it doesn't look that low, but it's really making an effect on the visual capabilities of these drivers right in that particular area.
And I wonder, too, that bump is really bad. Nobody run that far to the right over there. They didn't know what the car was going to do, and I think that's why Sharp maybe backed off a little bit sooner than Warren expected, because it was such unfamiliar territory.
Well, it's all of those things. You know, that sun blinding your eyes, that's not a good thing at all. And look right now as we're strictly looking to the inside. That sun is one problem, no problem about that. And then also the fact that they're the inside of the racetrack, you need to brake a little bit more conservative. I think Keith had that on his mind. And it just was a problem where Warren got caught off right there. But certainly it was not a premeditated type of deal, and I don't think it was over-aggressive driving. I think it was just an incident between guys that were running that close on a track like this.
Well, and I wonder if one of the ultimate parts of the decision for the black flag, which we've just now been informed is confirmed, he'll be coming in, was the fact that the leader was involved. And SCCA has a particular fetish about not taking out the leader of a race, and maybe that's why they're going to apply it. But supposedly we're going to see Warren duck into the pits this time or the next time. He's got to get it done, as we're now at lap 25 with 32. And let's see,
there he goes.
Far left. There it is. He saw it. He's in.
Well, in Trans Am, if this would have been the case, the rule is if you take the guy out, if you hit the lead car and he goes around, you can wait for him to continue and you can get back behind him on the racetrack. Of course, he couldn't continue, so there's a penalty been applied.
John?
Yes, Warren Stillwell has come in for his stop and go. These will be the longest 10 seconds of his life. There is a lot of damage up on the front of the car, but there's no leakage whatsoever. Watch him come back up through the field. He wants as many points as he can get.
And did you notice, Dorsey, when the official there indicated the amount of time he was going to park, and Warren just nodded? I think Warren that to me is indication that it wasn't an intentional worn nose that he got into the back of him, and he's not happy about it.
Capaldi up the inside. He's going to get Strickler into one. This is in deep, really deep, and they made it work.
Wow, nice move by Capaldi. And I mean, that was the classic late braking pass.
Yeah, that was almost in trouble. Both of them got way in there deep, way to the outside. We've seen trouble there before because of the marbling on the outside of that turn, but they both got it shut down. I guarantee you this is not over yet.
So right now it is Capaldi, your leader, with Strickler in second, and with that stop and go by Stillwell, Tilber now has moved into third. They've got a bit of a gap over Mumm, who leads Spirito, Bowden, and the rest of the field back there. But this lead group of three, a very different looking lead group of three from what we saw for the first, two-thirds of this one. Here's the rest of the pack. But Capaldi, once he got around Strickler, he hardly has been able to drive away from him. Strickler is right there, and he's got no option because he's got Tilber glued to him as they head down toward turn one. And let's watch for it. Tilber swings out as Strickler defends a little bit over the drop down into the turn one area. Here's the rest of the pack. Spirito, Mumm working through lap traffic as they head down through turn one. A little lock up there, but they are going to do everything they can. And the number 9 car in trouble again, Richard Doty.
And this time he's got problems. I can see the smoke from the radiator. Look at the fluid just pours out. Antifreeze comes off. Luckily, he's got a hole in the wall. He's on the racetrack. Not a big problem. But here comes the pass. A great pass to the inside. Capaldi gets underneath Strickler, which means that Strickler some way had gotten around him somewhere out there.
Oh, Strickler, I think, got it. Oh, and here we go again. Another pass. This now, that is turn 5.
Tilber up the inside of Capaldi now because he was slowed by Strickler's pass. Now, but side by side, this is in the tunnel funnel. You can't do that here, and it's not working.
And Capaldi, the back end stepped out a little bit, but he held on to it. Tilber applying the pressure. That was 3 passes in about 2 corners. That was some great stuff. As Strickler got Capaldi, Capaldi got Strickler, and Strickler just went back by him again. And now we head down through the into the east loop, if you will, and they're going to make that turn right there that takes them down toward the final corner right there. They're making the turn. And go ahead.
Those flags you're seeing around there are debris or slippery condition flags. Those 2 yellow and red flags are indicating that there's probably antifreeze from that radiator that we saw before that is in fact on the surface there. They're not going to put a yellow out. They're just going to advise these drivers. That's an advisory flag. It says, hey, be heads up. We got a little problem in this corner, and they went through it okay.
And look at all the action from those 3 in front. Oh, big lockup. Capaldi makes the turn.
Oh, look at Tilber on the inside.
Tilber's
got him. Yeah, he'll get him because that big slide, good save there for Capaldi, but it left a wide open gap, and that was Tilber's opportunity up to second place.
And that battle has allowed 22 Strickler to draw open a bit of a margin just a little bit. We have 4 to go. Don't go away. We'll be back for the finish here at the West Michigan Grand Prix.
There's nothing like the feeling of a new car. We bought it. Armor All Protectant. It shines, it protects. It's new car juice.
If watching the race on TV just isn't good enough anymore, and what you're really looking for is a little excitement on your weekends, then maybe it's time you discovered racing the SCCA way. The Sports Car Club of America is your ticket to the pit lane and the fast lane. If you'd like SCCA membership information, call this toll-free number, 1-800-972-6662.
Looking for an exciting new career opportunity? Call now and check out Marine Mechanics Institute's comprehensive vocational training school for marine technicians. Veteran marine instructors teach you to repair stern drives, outboards, and personal watercraft. Financial assistance is available for those who qualify. MMI also offers lifetime graduate placement assistance. MMI's state-of-the-art campus in Orlando is endorsed or supported by all the major marine engine manufacturers. Call toll-free now for your career information kit at 1-800-922-9664.
Back at the West Michigan Grand Prix, and the battle continues. Capaldi now watches it. Tilber down the inside of Strickler into turn 1 on the brakes. Oh, and he made that one work beautifully. And look at that little move, Dorsey. He moved over to defend, I think, any counter move. Strickler, there's nothing to do.
Neil Tilber drove a fantastic race. He's actually been very steady. He's back there around 5th or 6th most of the day. Now he's got the lead, and he's only got a couple laps to go. He's got John Strickler right underneath him. John is a very cagey veteran in these cars. He's going to put a lot of pressure on, and there's things happening all around this racetrack. It's getting pretty exciting. We'll run out of time here.
Well, I have said, oh, Tilber!
Too hot. He's too hot into turn one. Locks up the brakes. Pass has been done already. And look at second. Capaldi to the outside. We're getting into twisty bits. He's going to take second.
Oh, and there's a car.
That's the 84 car. He's got the left rear corner tucked off. I told you. That's Peter Pope's car, and he's parked out there.
Oh, my. And, we'd hate to see this one go yellow for the finish. And look at Tilber working Capaldi over, trying anything, everything right now. Still in that twisty section of track. Here's the right-hander. We're in the east loop now. They'll make this turn. Then that next right-hander. It's almost one corner right there. Then down toward the last turn and onto the front straight. And Tilber just trying to stay close. But Strickler's opening it up. Let's go back and take a look at what happened with 84 Pope.
Too much speed. He's got a lot of speed. He's loose, getting in that corner. Real loose as we saw him go around the corner. Actually, it was the wrong side. This one's looser yet. And it bangs it right into the wall, he does.
Oh, and it immediately broke that right rear corner, and that car is going nowhere. It's parked. Capaldi dancing and dicing on the brakes, but he holds on to it. But Tilber got a run. They come out of turn one. Tilber up the inside, got him.
Yeah, and look at Capaldi. He had to brake. He had to get out of it because he knows what's coming up ahead. He'll get rubbed off on the wall. Like I said, rubbed off. He got rubbed off is what he did. There's nowhere to pass in here. It's silly to get alongside right now. You got to mount your charge for the straightaway. Right now, getting alongside. Oh, and Tilber with the slide for life up against the wall. That gives Capaldi a run. That'll give him a chance up the inside. Look, oh, and he backs away from it. Not enough room in there.
Boy, Tilber defended aggressively, shall we say. And Capaldi, there was nothing he could do but try and move off, try and get back onto a line and get Tilber off line. Tilber made it work this time. That car is still there.
Tilber's car is really loose. For some reason, he might have run off his rear tires. He's got big slides coming through these corners, and he's fallen victim. A couple of passes now have been because he's had to slide and had to get out of the throttle to keep from hitting the outside wall, and it's made him slow at the apex. So watch that. Here's the turns coming down onto the long straightaway. This is where you want to set up to be quick, not all that twisty bit back there. That's way too much work for us old guys.
And Spirito, Mum, and Bowden are not that far back either, but the story now at the front, Strickler, a second and a half because of the battling between Tilber and Capaldi. White flag.
And this is what Strickler wanted. Keep that battle going behind me. Get at it, boys. You know, all he's got to do is do one clean lap right now, and he'll probably come home the champion. In the meantime, behind him, things are straightened out. Tilbur's got a long lead now over Capaldi. And look at the battle back here. There's a bunch of these guys that have just closed in, too. Oh, and locked up brake. 23 car locks up, but at least it was early in the corner. Didn't get out there and get into the slippery stuff, as that was John Bowden trying to make up position. Last lap, everybody knows it, so if you got anything left, you know, put it down now.
Well, and look at Spirito. He is closing on Capaldi. It'd be amazing if he got up to him and actually was able to take a run at him as we have just this final lap to go. But Strickler right now, with that margin, at start-finish, it was up to 2.1 seconds. That's enough of a margin where you might be able to rein it in just that little bit, not be on the edge through the corners, and be able to just conserve it right to the finish.
Well, that's what John's doing. Look at his car now. No sliding out of that car. He just drives it around like it's on a rail. He knows exactly what he needs to do. All he has to do is drive this one last lap smooth, just like he's doing. And he only can be beaten if he makes a mistake. Nobody can make up that deficit as long as he doesn't make a mistake.
All right, here we go now, heading into the East Loop. Final time. There's Tilber, Capaldi behind, and then it'll be Spirito, Mum, and Bowden. That's your top six. But it is Strickler, and he is coming around. Final time through this turn. Great ride by this young driver, John Strickler out of Kansas City, Kansas. Checkered flag, and Strickler gets the win here at the inaugural West Michigan Grand Prix. An absolutely brilliant piece of driving. He did exactly what he needed to do. It'll be Tilber holding on to second, Capaldi, Spirito, Mum, your top five, and Strickler, he's enjoying that one, as is the crew. Look at that. They're just casually soaking it up. We'll be back.
Now, the ultimate in extreme crash action has twice the excitement in this exclusive new 2-video set, Awesome Crashes and Motorcycle Madness. This action-packed set features some of the most awesome and devastating crashes you've ever seen. From the outlaw sprint cars to superbikes and powerboats, Awesome Crashes is just what the name says. Awesome. And if you want motorcycle crashes, look no further. Motorcycle Madness has bone-chilling two-wheel crashes that'll make your spine tingle. You get both action-packed crash videos for the incredible price of only $19.95. But if you order within the next 30 minutes, we'll include Easter absolutely free. It's just what the name says, and it's free if you order now. You get all three incredible videos for the price of one, a $60 value. Yours for the next 30 minutes for only $19.95. The clock is ticking, so call now. To order, call 1-800-684 1-800-684-8866. That's 1-800-684-8866. Or send check or money order to the address shown. That's 1-800-684-8866. Call now.
For a different perspective on tonight's game, we go live to Tom Glavine in Atlanta. Tom, you feel like you pitched well tonight?
My curveball was hanging a little bit, but I felt pretty loose out there. Thank God I had 8 guys behind me that were making me look as good as they did.
You think this could be the Braves' year?
Anything's possible.
Tom Glavine, the consummate baseball professional.
Well, the sun continues to set here in West Michigan for the West Michigan Grand Prix. There's the top 5 of this great third round of the Spec Racer Ford Pro Series. Strickler, Tilber, Capaldi, Spirito, and Mum. Some great racing, fascinating racing. And the guy who drove the best race, the best judged event, was Strickler. And he's standing by with John Bizignano. John?
John Strickler, I can't say that looked easy. A lot of hard racing, a lot of talent, a lot of luck, but you brought it home in first place.
Thanks a million. It was a lot of luck, a little bit of talent, no brakes at the end. Very scary situation. Not the place to lose your brakes on a street course. That increased my fear factor by about 900%. So 4 laps from the end, no brakes. I just got lucky. Keith, I don't know what happened down there. He was gone. I don't think I could have caught him. Warren, I guess, got the stop and go, and that was it. I ended in the front.
When you see the front people running that hard, do you actually lay back because you're saying to yourself, someone's going to eliminate themselves up there?
Always you think that somebody, those guys were racing so close, they're slowing each other up, and you know that you can stay with them a lot easier than you could normally. So you always hope they'll touch each other.
Well, the plan worked. Congratulations on a great victory, and you're doing very well in the championship now, too.
Boy, a fascinating run, and with the brakes failing, that battle behind him, giving him that gap, is just what he needed to nurse that car home to the finish and take a win. You can see how close Tilber was, but that was after the checker. We'll be right back.
Property owners, if weeds, brush, and brambles are turning parts of your land into an overgrown jungle, at last there is a solution. The amazing new DR Field and Brush Mower can help you reclaim overgrown parts of your property and keep your place looking great with less work than you ever dreamed possible. Now you could try to mow this overgrown roadside ditch with a handheld brush cutter. Or you might try to use a sickle bar style mower. But these machines vibrate so much they're exhausting to use. In contrast, the DR Field and Brush Mower is the picture of smoothness. The DR knocks over brush and saplings up to 1 inch thick and chops everything into small pieces so there's no tangle of vegetation to trip over. And when you're done mowing, there's nothing left to rake, pick up, burn, or dispose of. The DR's secret is that it works much like a big tractor-mounted brush mower, but in a walk-behind version that's scaled and priced just right for homeowners. Plus, the DR can mow on slopes where you'd never take a tractor. And it can mow in soft, wet areas where a tractor would sink up to its axles. With its lighter weight and wide tires, the DR mows wet fields, along streams, and around ponds with ease. 4 speeds and up to 14 horsepower let you mow wide open spaces at nearly an acre an hour. Or you can take your time in woodlots, thinning out the underbrush around trees you want to keep. There's even a reverse gear for maneuvering in tight places. So if parts of your property are getting so overgrown that no ordinary mower can keep them under control, call now for complete details on the amazing new DR Field and Brush Mower. Call toll-free 1-800-493-0505 for your free color catalog all about the DR All-Terrain Field and Brush Mower. Off-season savings now in effect. So call now 1-800-493-0505 for your free DR catalog.
Well, welcome back to Grand Rapids. The winner's circle is taking place, but Warren Stillwell is not in that. Now listen, you are the national amateur champion in this type of racing. You are the pro champion in this type of racing. This was your first black flag in 12 years of racing. What happened?
Well, it was a tough race. You know, I felt like I had a good motor on Keith, and he was running a good race. I had a good run on him a couple of times, and we went down the inside. He's kind of pushing me to the inside, and I tried to take the inside. I thought his brakes came on a little bit early, but I'm sure I may have misinterpreted. The point is I hit him from behind, and I put him out of the race. I felt really bad about that. And, you know, I inherited the lead from there, so I didn't know what to do. Then I saw the black flag.
And that brought him into the pits. Warren Stillwell, you're a great champion and a great gentleman.
Well, that kind of stuff is going to happen occasionally. For 12 years without a black flag, that's a pretty remarkable stat. We're going to take a look at the unofficial results. We'll take you through the full rundown of the order. Strickler, Tilber, Capaldi, Spirito, and Mumm, your top 5. And the rest of the pack, all of them really put in a great race. And Dorsey, the introductory race to this brand new event here proved to be a barn burner, really.
Well, it did indeed, and I have to say something for Warren Stillwell. You know, he took that like a man. He said it himself. He goes, I didn't mean to do it, but when you look at it, I hit him from the back and took him out of the race. So it's a shame for him. He's a heck of a good champion and one of the best race car drivers we have around nowadays. So it's one of those deals.
Well, and Strickler, though, the best on this day as he put together a great run. That's going to bunch things up in the points. We'd like to thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Creamer for Dorsey Schrader and John Bisignano down in the pits. We hope you enjoyed our coverage here. Look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
If there were any remaining questions over Tim Steele's recovery, let them be put to rest. The 3-time ARCA champion answered it best when he parked his HS Dye Softtech Ford in Victory Lane at Pocono, his first race back after suffering head injuries in a 1997 accident at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. But he has yet to wrestle a half-mile bull ring, so the short track test comes next when the Man of Steel climbs aboard for the Toledo ARCA 150. Just another reason to get pumped for another short track war with the ARCA Bondo Marhide Series.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Toledo Speedway for the Toledo ARCA 150. I'm Don Radeball here to cover all the action, and you can count on plenty of it. Lots of big stories to chase, none bigger than this one right here. The driver from Coopersville, Michigan, Tim Steele, making his return to the ARCA Bondo Marhide Series after suffering what many thought were career-ending injuries at a race accident at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the November of '97. Steele has returned with a vengeance, winning in his first time back at Pocono, although he is yet untested in the short track business. We're about to find out if Tim Steele can get the job here done tonight. It would be his first career victory here at Toledo Speedway. We'll answer that question and a whole bunch more. It's the Toledo ARCA 150, and it's next only on Speed Vision. Stay with us.
This Speed Vision program is brought to you by Motel 6. Motel 6 has over 55,000 rooms renovated nationwide. Call 1-800-4-MOTEL-6 for reservations.
Hi, Tom Bodette. Well, this is what I looked like back when I was new. And this is a new room at Motel 6. When I was new, a new room at Motel 6. Cute, huh? I'm Tom Bodette, and we'll leave the light on for you.
Honey, what you doing?
Just fixing that little dent.
Hey, that looks great. How'd you do it?
It's easy. With Bondo UV. Bondo UV comes ready to use. Just apply Bondo UV in the shade, then put the repair in the sun, and let Bondo's revolutionary solar-activated hardener go to work. Sand the area, finish it with Marhide paint, and you've got the perfect repair.
You know, this would be great for home repair, too.
Bondo UV, the revolution in body fillers from Bondo.
It was back in 1953. ARCA was born, the Automobile Racing Club of America. Now, more than 45 years later, ARCA Racing is big-time racing. You can see ARCA at the superspeedways like Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte, and Michigan. And ARCA is famous for exciting short-track racing at Salem, Indiana, and Flat Rock, Michigan, and dirt track style at DeCoin and Springfield, Illinois. ARCA, a winning racing formula that's bigger and better than ever. Check out ARCA on the web at www.arcaracing.com.
The Arm & Hammer Challenge. Now that you've worked up a sweat, put our antiperspirant under one arm and one without baking soda under the other. This odor sensor beeps when it detects odor, but Arm & Hammer absorbed and eliminated the odor.
Wow. Tomorrow I'll use it under both arms. Yeah.
Hey, this is Billy F. Gibbons from ZZ Top, and you're watching Speed Vision right here, right now.
Welcome back to Toledo Speedway here in Toledo, Ohio, where the ARCA Bondo Marhide Series is ready to roll in the Toledo ARCA 150. 150 laps the distance around this 1/2 mile high bank paved oval. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. On the pole is Tim Steele, car number 16, his first ever Toledo Speedway pole. He'll go alongside Dave Weltmeyer in the 39 car. That's the Rulo Brothers Racing Chevrolet Weltmeyer, a 13-time ARCA winner. Frank Kimmel and Jeff Finley make up row 2, and row 3, Dill Whittemore. His return to the ARCA Series here at Toledo will work with Bob Straight in row number 3. Row 4, you'll find Rick Shepard there alongside Bill Baird, the Sturgis, Kentucky driver. Then it's Dave Simcoe making his return to the ARCA Series alongside Eric Smith in row 5. Rick Gretsch starts 11th tonight alongside Windsor, Ontario's Randy Churchill. Starting 13th tonight, Roger Blackstock alongside Joe Cooksey. Steve Stevenson starts 15th tonight. Dave LeDuc starting 16th. Wes Russell next in your lineup. He'll start 17th on the grid. The Muncie, Indiana driver with Richard Hampton alongside out of Seymour, Indiana in the 0 car. David Boggs next in the lineup, followed by Andy Belmont, your top 20 starters. Randy Van Zant rolls off 21st here tonight alongside Norm Benning, the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania driver. Josh Baldus next in the lineup. Starting 23rd, Todd Kuhn is 24th. Further back, Mike Buckley, Mark Gibson, Mark Voigt, Kurt Piercy, Jerry Middleton, Greg Sarf, Brian Kahns, and Chuck Weber round out the grid. 32 starters will go the 150-lap distance here tonight. A quality field assembled for the Toledo ARCA 150. This should be a great, great race. The rest of the field filing through. Should get a go here very, very soon. Tim Steele again on the pole. He has never been on the pole here at Toledo Speedway, and more importantly, he has never parked that machine in Victory Lane here at Toledo Speedway. He's won nearly everywhere on the ARCA Tour except here, hoping to change that all here tonight. Alongside Weltmeyer, the veteran. 2 veterans will make up the front row with Frank Kimmel in their rear view mirror. Jeff Finley alongside in the 83 car. Looking for the go. Green flag up. The Toledo ARCA 150 is underway. The field through 3 and 4. Ooh, one car very loose there. Checking the action further back. Down the backstretch. Leaders in 3 and 4 off turn 4. Tim Steele showing the way. Car number 16, the 3-time ARCA Bondo Marhide Series champion, out in front over Frank Kimmel and Dill Whittemore running 3rd in the 56 car. Tim Steele, after suffering injuries at Atlanta Motor Speedway, testing, well, trouble here early on. It's the 55 car. We'll get to that Tim Steele story in a moment, but the 55 of Dave LeDuc has got himself turned around in 3 and 4. No contact there, though, and I don't see a caution either. Leaders here off turn 4. Still under green. Tim Steele still shows the way. We talked about his injuries back in November at Atlanta, testing a Winston Cup car for Bud Moore. This is his first ever appearance on a short track as our leaders tighten up here off turn 4. Good shots of Rick Gretsch, the 61 car, and the 9 of Eric Smith, and the 12 of Roger Blackstock, and the 51 of Joe Cooksey racing for position here through 1 and 2. Gretsch has got this series on fire. Top 5 finishes and just a handful of starts. The North Ridgeville, Ohio driver doing a great, great job. So are the leaders, working their way in lap traffic already. Steele to the outside of the Rock Hill, South Carolina driver. David Boggs will go a lap down early on. Frank Kimmel inches away from Steele's bumper off turn 4. Kimmel is a 2-time winner here at Toledo Speedway. Chasing and shoving Steele away and showing him the way off turn 2. Kimmel, a 9-time ARCA winner. Winner recently on the ARCA Tour, most recently at Shady Bowl Speedway a short time ago, looking for his 5th career victory this season, 10th career victory overall. Kimmel in a Chevrolet Monte Carlo. The Larry Clement-owned Green Oak Farm Chevrolet, chasing a Ford Taurus, the new body style here tonight for Tim Steele. The HS Dye car, Ford Taurus showing the way over Kimmel's Monte Carlo. Steele's first race back on the short tracks. He won at Pocono. Look at Whittemore, a little loose off turn 4, but he is yet to run the short tracks, and so far, so good as they put a lap on the 30 car, the Marine, Illinois driver of Mark Boyd. Frank Kimmel, your current point leader. Been on fire in 1998. Sort of taken over the reins where Tim Steele left off in 1997. But no record speaks more loudly than that of Tim Steele here in this ARCA series. He is, of course, the all-time ARCA Super Speedway lap leader, having led 1,796 Super Speedway laps in ARCA competition. He is, of course, the all-time ARCA Super Speedway winner as well, with 18 victories. That's twice that of any other driver, plus some. Steele staged for a Winston Cup career, and we hope it comes soon. Action further back. It's the 18 car of Josh Baldus, racing with the 0 of Richard Hampton and the 20 of Todd Kuhn for position. Baldus, the 1997 ARCA Rookie of the Year. Coming off his best career finish here in '98, ran 3rd at Salem. And further back in the action, we'll pick up the leaders. Tim Steele, already in traffic, putting a lap on the 32 car. That's Randy Van Zandt out of Englewood, Ohio. He's got some top 5 finishes in just a handful of starts with this ARCA series, doing very well. Kurt Piercy going to go a lap down early in the 10 car. He's 10th in points with the ARCA cars. The 24 of Chuck Weber will also go a lap down. The Mesquite, Texas driver, a full-time campaigner with the ARCA series. In the early stages of the Toledo ARCA 150, if you're just joining